That that was seamless. Wow, I've never been so seamless. We are live, and we are up to episode 256. And
Wow.
I
262, actually, Brad.
what?
262.
262. Well, last week was
I
last
think you
week
blacked
had,
out a couple of them.
last week had the wrong number then. Anyway, and I realized though when I got up this morning that I had to write 10 minutes of new jokes, and
Oh,
that
no.
episode is the same word we use for a panic attack. So I've also had 262 episodes. So let's start the show.
Possibly can.
Since 2020, we've done plenty of virtual comedy shows online, and though the virus is slowing, we'll keep going because we've still got lots of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin.
Welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. It's a Zoom meeting with jokes. So please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, unless you have barking dogs or a rabid moose in your living room, in which case, please mute yourself for Pete's sake, and let's have some fun.
It's the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Steve Goodie and Brad Tassell. Tonight, Steve and Brad welcome comedian
Steve Nelson.
plus funny songs from
Henry Phillips.
and a patty melt from Patti Vasquez, and much, much more. Now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
There I am. Hey, see, it says 255 on the thing. I guess it said
You gotta
that.
read the whole thing. It says or thereabouts because I made it months ago because I'm on the road.
Got it. Oh, great. Well, welcome everybody to the comedy show, Panic Edition, Panic Episode Edition, with our star co-founder and a guy who did that months ago, Steve Goodie. Everybody, yay! And the talent portion, Patti Vasquez. Yay! And speaking of talent, we have a lot of it on this show. Comedian and super funny friend of mine in the bathroom, Keith Nelson. That's amazing. Plus, sensation, amazing musical comedian and music comedian, Henry Phillips, everybody. Yay! Pretty stuff. And as far as the beginning line, I realized last night at 2 a.m. that episode is one of those words that you can have two meanings. You can watch an episode and have an episode, which I often do. But I don't really panic about this show. I wouldn't call it panic. But you all know I don't panic. You can tell by the quality that I'm not that nuts. Great. It seems like more of an afterthought, I think, for me. But I guarantee it is not an afterthought. I think a lot about it during the week and then fret the last couple seconds as I type. Then I look for some weird stories that lead to some sort of punchline, but rarely feel it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it's not. I don't think I'll ever end up with nothing, but what I do end up with usually isn't that great. So let's try it out. Are you ready? Number one. No, I let Shauna in and it didn't happen.
I did also. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think she doesn't really want to be in. I'm gonna wait until she's in because I feel like she needs to hear this joke really bad. So everybody's doing okay. Alice is good. Janice, it's Keith sitting on the toilet. I think you're the only person who's ever been sitting on a toilet during the show. I think that's fantastic. There she is. It's Shauna, everybody. Here we go.
Visibly
First
so,
joke.
anyway.
Okay, you probably all heard this. Police in Slidell, Louisiana were called to a Lowe's where they found a naked man in a display shed with his pants at his ankles, lying down on his back, covered in Vaseline, with an unknown electrical device, watching videos on his phone while doing exactly what you think he was doing. Police entered the shed and told him to roll over on his stomach, and then they pulled out their tasers. The man was arrested and booked, but no one will tell what happened for the 30 minutes after the police went in the shed. They're in there 30 minutes. Nobody knows what happened. I got some of my teeth.
Oh, that was nice. Thank
I had a
you.
poke bowl. That was seaweed. Seaweed's very healthy.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
Love this. Kid Rock's restaurant in Nashville. Steve, you go to Kid Rock's Kids.
Every single night.
It's the best food in town. Kid Rock's restaurant in Nashville told their immigrant kitchen workers last week to go home after they were given a heads up that ICE was making raids and they didn't want their illegal staff arrested. So there you go, got a heads up. ICE did raid many other establishments that didn't get the call. and over 196 people were arrested. ICE plans next to go to New York City for more raids. But first, Melania will get a call from an unregistered caller that yells, "Run!" Because they could pick her up. Okay, Melania, we love her. Netflix has given Sesame Street a new home. Isn't that beautiful?
Yay!
The horrible thing of taking all the money away. So Sesame Street and they lost their deal with HBO. So Netflix is their new home. The only change is the Muppets will no longer remember anything they did once they leave the street. And I think Severance is actually Apple TV. Yeah. Is it? I don't know. Anybody watch that?
Nope.
Wow, that show's really killing it. I've never seen it. Or I have seen it, but it's only when I'm at work. No? Okay, great. You don't remember that. The second best president, Joe Biden, has aggressive prostate cancer. That is rough. It is a scary diagnosis. It is so scary that Donald Trump sent a kind message to Joe.
Whoa.
Or at least he had somebody send a kind message to
Yes,
Joe. This is the kind of thing.
it's obvious he didn't write it.
Yeah. Yes, but he
Right?
actually let it go.
There was no misspellings.
Yeah, there was no misspellings.
And it was coherent.
And there was no weird capitalizations either.
Yeah,
It was-
that's how we know he didn't write it.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
he let it be put on Truth Social. That's how scary this disease is. Because it's men, first of all, who are babies. It's a frightening, painful disease. And it can even, if it can create empathy in a narcissistic psychopath like Trump, I think we're all going to be closer together. I mean, all jokes aside, our buddy Brandon not only passed the most legislation of any president in history, brought us back from Trump's first destruction of the economy, and now has done something the Orange Menace has tried to do for 70 years. Unite the world from his pants. Ouch. I hate to tell you how long it took to come up with that. Okay. Wow, the first two jokes were both right at the old bottom layer there. And this one's right there too.
Yeah, you
Wow,
got front and back.
The Pope was inaugurated in Vatican City, and it's a tradition that everyone wear black out of respect, but a few women get to wear
White.
white. That's right. Kevin always knows. It's called royal white privilege. And it's a reminder that if the new Pope decides he wants it, he can quit and have 6 virgins instead.
Ooh.
I was going to write a smoke joke, but I didn't like it.
Probably going to beat the Vaseline in the bathroom in Louisiana.
That's right. I'm on the way there. If I go out of New Orleans, I might drive over. A man in Texas died after being swarmed by 22,000 bees
Ooh.
after disturbing a hive while he was mowing a lawn.
Yep.
Oh.
Man, that is super frightening. The man
Yes.
would have survived if police hadn't taken the time to count all the bees before taking him to the hospital. They know there were 22,000 bees. Why did they just say he got attacked by bees? He'd be alive today.
Got
Got a buzz.
a whole lot of bees.
Oh, they didn't count the stingers.
I love that.
Ooh.
That was great, Ray. I got a whole I don't think he got 22,000 stings, though. He ran to his car and got in his car, and bees got in with him. Oh, man, it was rough.
Oh dear, that's bad.
Hey, you know, famous people are just like us, aren't they?
Yes.
Sure.
Dakota Johnson, we all love Dakota Johnson, the actress. She said that in 2010, her famous parents, being Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith, cut her off because she refused to go to college. That she was struggling to pay rent and to buy food while she was trying to get her acting career off the ground. We can all understand that. She said it got bad enough. It got so bad, she had to ask her parents for help, and they helped her. So there's a lesson in there, kids. To make it in show business, you have to actually know what cutoff means. You don't. I couldn't laugh harder at that story when she said they cut me off and okay.
Yeah.
Thank God they paid for everything anyway. Jeff Shaw
Jeff Shaw.
told me this next joke. I talked to Jeff today and we wrote some jokes together. We missed Jeff here, so I'm thrilled to try one of his jokes. Sadly, I won't do it as well as he does. Here we go. I could tell this. I could tell the new. No, I'm not gonna do that. I could tell it. I could tell the new pope was American. I couldn't. Sorry, I'm gonna start over, Jeff. I apologize. I couldn't tell the new pope was American until the first time I heard him speak. In illo uno unam America fustatudum. America. Okay, that was fun. Jeff would have done it better. And then Jeff and I both wrote different versions of the same joke, and you get to vote to say who wrote a better joke. Are you ready? Same joke.
Nope.
This is Jeff's first. This is Jeff's joke.
Wait, don't tell us which is which.
Too late. Okay, I'll switch them. Okay, I'll do mine first. Oh wait, this is Jeff's. It's mine. Jeff's. It's mine. It's Jeff's. Here we go. The American Dermatologist Society just came out with a list of things teenagers should not leave in the shower. Number 3, their razors. Number 2, their washcloth. And number 1, their virginity. That won't happen until their skin clears up. Well, the problem with this is it's the same punchline and joke, just written differently. It's not, you know what I mean? So, okay, here's the other one. Dermatologists are sounding the alarm for things you shouldn't leave in the shower. Razors, as they can get rusty and cause disease. And on the list of things you shouldn't leave in there, and also on the list of things you shouldn't leave in there, your virginity, said your mom. Okay.
Either way.
What?
Either way, it's classy.
Either way, it's a classy joke. I wrote that one first, and he said, that sucks. Here's what you should say. All right, this is it. The joke of the week.
Oh, wow. All right.
Oh, it's 12 after. I think we're good.
Fine.
I had a lot to do today.
Time flies. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. You want me to, I can.
No, I do not.
Okay, great. Ladies and gentlemen, I wrote this joke. I usually sometimes find my own an original. I find a setup, but I didn't do that. I wrote this joke totally. And you know what? I probably shouldn't take credit for it because it's horrible. And it's obvious. I think it's obvious. What does New Year's Eve and a boy reaching puberty have in common?
What?
The ball drop.
Ah.
I thought you were going
Tassell.
I wrote that. James, what do you have to say?
I thought you were going to say a 10-second countdown.
That's also good.
That's good too.
That is also good.
Oh, man, we got all the winners tonight. Everybody clap for Brad Tassell.
Thank you. My hot tub's fixed.
Awesome. Hey, I think it's now time for
Let's hope it works.
list if I can make this happen. Let's see. Often when I do a topical top 10 list, I'm worried that our friend Brad will have covered it already, but he didn't this time. So I'm excited to have something to share that has not been shared already. Oh man, this is going to be so good. As you probably have heard this week, our illustrious genius in charge decided that Taylor Swift, since she opened her big mouth about what an incompetent nitwit he is, she is no longer hot. Everybody see that?
Yep.
And also told Bruce Springsteen that his face is saggy and he should stay in Europe or something like that.
He's a prune.
So that leads us to, if I can make this work, tonight's top 10 category. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done something there.
10 category is top 10 things that are hotter than the thing in the White House.
Okay.
Can you see me and the list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, top 10 things that are hotter than the thing in the White House. Number 10, Taylor Swift. Number 9, Taylor Swift's mic stand. Number 8, the base of Taylor Swift's mic stand.
Okay.
Hotter than the thing in the White House. Number 7, dirt on the base of Taylor Swift's mic stand.
What about her fat?
Number 6, fungus on the dirt on the base of Taylor Swift's mic stand.
Okay.
Number 5, a college course about the fungus on the dirt on the base of Taylor Swift mic stand.
Ooh.
Okay.
Number 4, a tenured professor who teaches a college course about the fungus on the dirt on the base of Taylor Swift. Number 3, a college kid who flunks a course about the fungus on the dirt on the base of Taylor Swift mic stand. Number 2, the STD of the kid who flunks the college course about the fungus. Taylor Swift mic stand. And the number 1 thing that is hotter than the thing in the White House, Bruce Springsteen's most recent colonoscopy.
That's true.
Remind me of
That's
a
gonna be a
David
new song for
Bowie
you, Steve.
What's that?
Is that going to be a new song for you?
I think it might have to be. Yeah, we go
Bruce
for that.
Springsteen's colonoscopy. I think that's a good idea. Speaking of, wait, no, not speaking.
Another good band name.
Colonoscopies. Yeah, who are you
Let's
leading
not
in?
speak of that and bring.
Wait,
Patty.
I remind you of colonoscopies? Is that what?
Let's not. You're right. Yes. No, you don't.
Only
You're-
in that
Speaking
you're
of
preventative.
colonoscopies, here's Patty. What?
Yeah.
You prevent things. That's all.
Yes.
I think that's all he
You're
said.
not a polyp.
Pain in the ass? What are we talking about?
That's right.
I made it weird. Hi, everybody.
I'm now uncomfortable. All right.
Are you ready, Patty? Should we-
Appropriate.
Were you
Sure.
in New Orleans first? Wait, were you in New Orleans recently?
Why don't you wait for me to do a Patty crazy melt
Okay,
or
go.
something?
Got it. Do it.
Okay, don't fight. It hurts me when you fight.
Oh,
No, I can't.
Aw. Sorry,
It
Steve.
hurts me when it doesn't play.
Play button disappeared on me. Hang on. Well, it was going pretty well till then.
Hi, Patty. Let's start it again.
Yeah, okay. Hi.
Machine. I'm so sorry.
Is
there a
Patty
thing?
crazy?
Because I'm in Chicago and the Pope is not in Chicago.
You
Hang
could
on.
have gone to Patty's house and done this faster.
I could have done that. It
Are
hurt-
you're in Chicago again? Wait, Steve, what?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
You could have come and done radio. What? Okay, anyway.
I'm so
Is
sorry.
Patty crazy?
am I crazy?
Yes.
Patty's not sure, Patty's not from lunatics winning their local races to major league wackos with orange faces to obnoxious a-holes taking handicapped spaces. If she's losing her mind, that's fair. She's Patti Vasquez.
Am I crazy?
Possibly in New Orleans.
Not New Orleans.
Yeah, well, here, before I start a crazy Patty melt, 'cause I think we can combine the two. And I'm hoping not to melt, but I'm definitely crazy. And look, I think we've covered some of the news in the last week, but really not all of it, because there's still like this $400 million plane, which apparently will cost $1 billion to retrofit, but it was actually a plane that the Saudis were trying to get rid of and no one else would take. And so why not? Have it as a gift. And we've had these arguments about the Statue of Liberty. Like, we got that for free because, the President Grover Cleveland then put it in his backyard and just gave private tours. But anyway, and since then, I don't even know. There's so many things that have happened since then. Here, just locally, we had microbursts. We didn't have tornadoes. And by the way, if anyone knows who Tom Skilling is, he has always said about tornadoes in Chicago, it's not a matter of if, but when. And trees like split down the middle to their on the northwest side. It was like from block to block, like cars and I don't know how people didn't get hurt here, but people go out their front lawn, they're like, hey, that looks bad. Yeah, the clouds are like 5 feet from our heads and they're brown, and we didn't know that meant a dust storm was coming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys, a dust storm hit Chicago in Chicago. Because, get on your horses and ride for the plains because there's a dust storm coming, y'all. We ain't going to make it. What the freaking frack? Anyway, I don't even know what we're here to talk about today. Was I in New Orleans? Okay. I think we've covered this maybe. I've been to a couple funerals. I think since we last spoke, I've been to 4 funerals in a month and I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
It's fine. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. So I went to New Orleans for a friend of mine's celebration of life. They actually have signs in some of the bars in New Orleans that say, we put the fun in funerals. And they do. And it was beautiful. But also,
Sorry.
4 people I know died in the last month. I'm not okay. And I'm kind of apologize because some of the comedians on the show might not have been aware that Paul DiGilio passed away. Paul was a Chicago comic who I'd known for
Really?
30 years. Did you know Paul?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm sorry. Did you not
Oh
know
my
that?
gosh. No, I didn't know.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, okay, so real quick then about that. I became obsessed with stand-up comedy when I was about, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. Watched Johnny Carson every night. I got to see the first set that Tim Allen did on Carson, Roseanne, just a ton of comics, Ellen DeGeneres, and then I got obsessed with A&E's Evening at the Improv, which featured 3 comics in a half an hour, if you guys remember that in the '80s. And one of them, before I even had an idea to do stand-up comedy, Paul DiGilio was on A&E's Evening at the Improv. And then about 5 or 6 years after that, in 1991, I was the funny firm in Chicago just to see a show, underage, got to drink anyway, because that's how you do it in Chicago and comedy clubs. And, just a little, hi, of course I'm 21. At any rate, I saw Paul DiGilio open for Norm Macdonald, actually. It was Paul DiGilio, Dinah Limo, and Norm Macdonald, and they're all dead. And I'm fine with that. That's all. That's how this works out, I guess. So yeah. So Paul was a comic that I got to see on TV, and then sat in the front row of a comedy club and went, "Oh, I saw him on TV, and now he's right here in front of me being crazy funny." And then I got to work with him for 30 years. And Paul was a very cynical, kind of acerbic, angry guy. And, that's why we got along, because hi, everybody. So somebody reached out to me. I didn't get a name. So I got a text last week saying, Paul talked about you a lot. Please come to his memorial. And I had already made reservations on a flight and at a hotel to go to New Orleans to celebrate another friend's life. My good friend, Kristen McAllister, who passed away after a long battle with tongue cancer. I think we talked about that. They're doing 3 celebrations this year for her, one in Chicago, one in New Orleans, and one in Los Angeles. And when I told the woman who invited me to Paul's service that I had to change my arrangements and come back from New Orleans early, she goes, "Well, if they're doing 2 more, why'd you go to New Orleans?" I'm like, "Lady, I barely made it back for Paul, and he would have been fine if I blew this off because that was Paul."
Yeah.
At any rate, the problem with going to events where you don't know everybody and then everyone knows you're a comic, and not for Paul's event, but for Kristen's, come on, can we not do "oh, you're a comedian, I got a good one for you"? Can we not?
Oh yeah.
Oh
my God.
Can we never do that?
At a funeral.
Right in front of the casket,
Right.
Yeah.
So this guy, well, we were at the bar afterwards, and this guy came up to me and he goes, "What are you drinking?" So I said, I'll take a gin and tonic. And he came back and he gave me the drink and he goes, "How's it taste?" And I said, "Great." And he goes, "So you can't taste the Rohypnol?"
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Are you doing a rape joke?
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, no, I mean, because and I love making people explain themselves." And I go, "I just want to be clear. Are you doing a rape joke to a rape survivor?" I just want to, I'm going to give you that second part. I know you didn't know that part, but I just, like, in general, you got a 1 in 4 shot. You got a 1 in 4 shot. And then he goes, and then I swear to God, he goes, "I just wanted your respect by doing a rape joke." Oh, no, 1,000%. And then later we were in the bar and he was telling the bartender that I was a comic and that he was having a tough time making me laugh. And the bartender goes, "You're a comedian?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm a comic." And he goes, "Oh, you're almost good looking."
Ooh.
What is, and these are,
Oh my God.
I was like, "Thank you for taking my mind off my dead friend, everybody."
Yes.
Really appreciate it. If we could just be insulting, it's fine. I'm totally fine. I just So if I could ask everyone to do me a favor, if you plan on taking leave of us, give me just a little bit more time in between. I'll be there. I need a gap. I need to take a break. But if you are gonna have one in New Orleans, I'm there for it. Apparently I had Everclear for the first time in 31 years. And so that was fun. I did not know. It wasn't even Rohypnol. Apparently I ordered that drink, just didn't know it had Everclear. At any rate, thank you all so much for my crazy Patty milk.
Patti Vasquez.
So Len Ostrovich is serving you alcohol at a young age. Was he, did he ask you out too? I don't know if he was.
Who, Paul?
No, Len Ostrovich. He owned Len.
You know what's funny about Len is I've never met Len Ostrovich. I did the Improv and I did Zanies almost right away. I only went into the funny firm as an audience member. I never went in there as a comic. Yeah,
I did it a couple times. They weren't around long. I think that was the funny thing is they didn't.
Well, Yeah, that was when they started. If folks want a little behind the curtain, so they started papering the room, and so they started giving away free tickets. And in that area, it was a little bit dicey, and they actually had folks coming in with weapons. And so this is in the '90s. The improv and the funny firm started papering the room. You know, they would do like the phone calls. You've won 10 tickets for your office party and stuff like that. So nobody had any investment in the shows.
I never got in the improv because that original improv that who owned it?
The Gertz's, Jamie Gertz's dad,
Jamie
right?
Gertz's dad, yeah, was a billionaire. And I never got in there. He was real nice to me and bought me dinner one night. But the guy who managed it and was the booker was a huge cocaine addict, man. And I did a set and he was nuts.
So I don't know which one was the one you tried auditioning for. That's a long story for another time. It was the guy that I made. So I started dating the sound guy who became the booker and manager, and that didn't go well. And I think we've talked about it before.
I think I told you
that wasn't the cocaine guy though, was it?
I don't know.
Oh, that's when I met. That's when I met Rosie O'Donnell. Hung out with Rosie.
Nice.
Sound guy is one step below bass player. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I was the sound guy at Crackers, so that was.
See what I mean?
So,
thank you for listening.
You wouldn't have wanted to date me, so that was good. But although I can't wait. Yeah, when I die, there's going to be a big people out of town. Oh yeah, you're.
Oh, for Paul's memorial was just me and Bill Gorgo actually.
Oh,
as far as comics, yeah.
Oh man.
And she said she invited a bunch, and that none of them. I won't give any names because
they're all in Chicago. They're right there.
I'm saying it was a Sunday. It was perfectly timed.
I mean, I don't usually go. You'll go to New Orleans. I won't go 102, 300 miles. So I'm sad. But when Steve goes, we'll all be there.
Absolutely, because Nashville's fun.
And he's going first. So okay, well thanks.
Well, if Brad goes, we can all go to the Cayman Islands.
That's right.
Ooh.
Is that where I'm dying? The Cayman Islands?
Maybe. I don't know. How am I supposed to know?
Oh my god.
You know,
Hey, I can do a clean show and a dirty show. I will do either eulogy you need.
Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah. I don't know who else is going to do a eulogy. No one else wants to. So, all right.
I'll be there.
All right, Patty.
Thank you, Patty.
You'll be there.
Thank you.
I'm lasting longer than everybody.
True.
I can't find.
You're healthier.
Oh, what happened there? What are you doing?
I added Henry.
Okay, and somehow Patty's camera disappeared.
Hey, your mom's joining.
Patty's still there?
Hi, Mom. She's in the other room. Hi, Mom.
Oh, I
Hi,
just
it's
want to
Patty
say
again.
hi.
I'm still here. What do you? Hi, Henry.
Hey,
I don't think.
it's been a
Well,
long
say hi to
time.
Henry. Henry said he hadn't seen you in a long time. He wanted to say hi.
Hi, Henry. Good to see you.
Hey.
Hello.
Yep.
I know. I was thinking. I was very excited that you're on the show tonight. Good to see you.
Good to see. Wait, are you leaving?
I'll be here. Yes.
Oh,
You
okay.
just want.
I
You
I
just
just don't
want
know
to
how. I've done a total of, I think, about 3 virtual comedy shows, so I don't know how it works even.
Well,
Are we?
I'll tell
Wait.
you.
Are you gonna cook? Oh my God. This will be so
I'm
exciting.
gonna play
Oh
guitar.
man. Come on.
I've never seen another virtual comedy show like this one.
Where did you go?
all right, here's how it goes, Henry. Henry,
Yeah.
here's what's going to happen. We're going to play a little video intro for you,
Oh, okay.
and then you'll play your first funny song, and then I have to answer it somehow with a funny song of my own, and then after that, you do another song, which can or doesn't have to answer my song.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds
All
good.
right. So we'll do the intro, and then it'll be all you. Here we any second now. And of course, it won't let me because it hates.
It's our musical guest, Gonna sing something funny and then Steve will play something in between. Our musical guest, It's time for our musical guest.
Henry Phillips in the kitchen.
Right.
kitchen.
I thought that was pre-recorded until you said the kitchen part, because I don't think it.
Hey.
All right. Well, Patty was talking about dating a sound guy, and then Steve, I think you said it went bass player, sound guy,
Yeah.
and then I think guitar comic is down below that. And I'm only saying that because I am one. I'm not. I know you are one as well. We're a whole different group. Or maybe it starts all at the top again when you go below. All right. This is a song that I wrote many years ago. I was in my 8th year of community college out here at Pasadena City College. And I just, you just meet so many people, and I fell in love with this girl. I was taking all kinds of classes, and she, when I first met her, she didn't speak a word of English, and I didn't speak, whatever language she spoke or whatever. But we just had a tremendous sexual relationship, and this is a song that I wrote for her way back in those days, for her 67th birthday. And, I'm going to share it with you right now. I think I told the backstory about this last time. You are the blossom, I am the vine. You are the blossom, I am the vine. Sweet little blossom of mine, hanging on the vine, extracting all the nutrients from the inside. Sweet little blossom of mine. You are the oyster, I am the pearl. You are the oyster, I am the pearl. Sweet little oyster of mine, irritating you on the inside, covering me with your shiny mucus-like substance until I shine. Sweet little oyster of mine. I am the host organism. You are the unicellular dinoflagellate algae. I am the host organism. You are the unicellular dinoflagellate algae. Come on, everybody. This is the part where everybody usually sings along. They don't really do that. I just thought I could pass that off because it's not technically live. But where was I? Oh yeah. Sweet little unicellular dinoflagellate algae of mine, letting me use your chloroplast that I can photosynthesize, providing me with carbon in exchange from the nutrients you obtain from my catabolic pathways. Sweet little unicellular dinoflagellate algae of mine. Steve is writing frantically trying to figure out what his response is going to be here. I can't wait to hear. Okay, here, I'm going to do a key change.
What? To do a key change?
This is a verse that's about 17 years old, but I was able to update it recently. You are the J-Lo, I am the Ben. You are the J-Lo, I am the Ben. Sweet little J-Lo of mine, right there by my side. Agreed to go through a 17-year hiatus from our relationship while I got to terms with my alcohol and addiction problems so we could eventually get back together and make more shitty movies together. Sweet little J-Lo of mine.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
He puts the screwdriver in Philip's screwdriver. That's Henry Phillips.
That felt good. I think I just sort of broke my cherry in terms of doing guitar music on a virtual comedy show.
Yeah.
I liked it.
We tried to be gentle with you.
Thank you.
That was a very convoluted, verbose love song, and I think I have the perfect response to it. Okay. And I used to have this memorized. I will try not to look at the lyrics, which are right here. Let's see how far I can get before I have to cheat. And full disclosure, I didn't write this. Our friend Annie Breckman wrote this, but I used to do this with actual size, and we just enjoyed it very much. She took a dollar bill from, I've done a long time. She took a dollar bill from her wallet. She picked up a fountain pen. She wrote down the words, I love you, next to the picture of George Washington. She took the dollar bill to the grocery store. She bought herself a chocolate cake. She gave the dollar bill to the grocery man. Then she went back home to wait. The grocery store man gave the dollar bill to a fat guy from Baton Rouge. He spent the bill at the hardware store on a box of flat top screws. The hardware store gave the dollar bill to a customer named Clive, who, by the way, was the son of one of the original Dave Clark Five. He spent the bill at the laundromat. They gave it to a lady named Fran. Fran's youngest son took the bill from her purse and went to see Star Wars again. The movie theater guy gave the dollar bill, spent the dollar bill on a subway ride uptown. 3 minutes later, the bill was in the pocket of a gambling man named Brown. Who are we kidding? I am cheating. Hang on, I got to scroll down because this goes on and on and on. And now I've lost my place entirely. I'll just take it. Gambling man named Brown. Brown blew the bill at a poker game. He was working on an inside straight. Dollar went home with a man named Jones who was sitting on a pair of 8s. Jones spent the bill at the liquor store. Crap, I forgot. Let's just go to the chorus. Yeah, I am with you all the time. I can hear you loud and clear. Just give a tug along the line. You know I will be there. Hang on, we got to have this right. I'm sorry, I can't stand it. This is so totally not worth it. I think you'll enjoy this if I ever get the. There you go. Okay. Okay. Let me back up. Brown Bill blew the bill in a poker game. He was fishing for an inside straight. Dollar went home with a man named Jones who was sitting on a pair of 8s. Jones took the bill to a savings bank. The teller's name was Dan. Dan gave the bill to a customer named Rabbi Finkelman, singing, I am with you all the time. I can hear you loud and clear. Just give a tug along the line. You know I will be there. Anyway, the rabbi spent the bill on a ham and cheese to go. They gave the bill to a guy named Phil who gave it to his best friend Joe. Joe had planned to spend it on some flowers for his bride, but he got mugged by a junkie named Doug in the parking lot outside. Doug's old lady spent the bill on a couple of cans of beer. She eventually becomes a very famous poet, but that don't matter here. The store guy put the dollar bill in his register, but then Doug the junkie said, stick him up, and the dollar was his again. He gave the bill to a girl named Jill, who gave it to a girl named Flo. She gave the bill to a real short guy whose name I do not know. He gave the bill to another short guy who gave it to this is so worth it. Who gave it to a guy named Jake. Jake took the bill to the bar and grill and bought himself a sirloin steak. Well, later that day, I happened to say, I think I'll stop by the bar and grill. The cashier counted out my change and handed me the dollar bill. Well, I ran to the phone and I dialed in your number as fast as my fingers would do. I said, baby, I just got your message. Baby, I love you too. I said, I am with you all the time. I can hear you loud and clear. Just give a tug along the line. You know I will be there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now another shockingly, seemingly brief song from our friend. You can take as much time as you want.
Don't swallow the pick. I love it. By the way, I had an interesting thing happen recently. You might have seen me scratching my ear. I went to the ear, nose, and throat, and this isn't part of my act, but I think it's kind of funny. The ear, nose, and throat doctor said he saw some hairs in there, and he pulled them out. Wait, there's an echo. Is that me?
Oh,
Now
check.
try.
Do you hear me?
That was Steve's mom.
Oh, that's all right. But anyway, he pulled these 2 pieces of hair out of my ear from way, way deep. It really hurt. And he showed them to me. And the part I found concerning was they were not the color that my hair's been for about 5 years. Like they were the color of my hair, like maybe in the early 2000s. So is it possible? And he's like, you might have been getting your hair cut or something, and then maybe you put some earbuds on and pushed them down there, and they've just been there. So I'm like, really? So those hairs, that's a little vestige of my youth in there. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Okay, but you can hear me? Check. Help.
Yeah.
By the way, any sound person will tell you help is the best word to use when you're doing a sound check, because it's got the plosive, the P sound, which is the extreme hard sound, and then the H is the soft sound. So if you get that, it kind of tests the full dynamic range of the mic. Help. 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 Okay, so if you ever hear, somebody yelling help, just remember they're doing a sound check. All right. This is a song, I feel like this is the appropriate one to do. It's, I normally wouldn't because it's got the same chord progression as the last one, but lyrically it's very different. So any similarity in chord progressions is entirely coincidental.
You get paid the same. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's got a capo, so it'll be a different register. But one of the amazing things, and I'm sure Patti can attest to this with me, but one of the really fun parts about being a comedian over the years is that you get to see people that you started out with in open mic nights, smoky bar rooms that you were doing gigs for $100 a night or whatever, just sort of escalate and rise to become incredibly famous and rich. It's like just multimillionaires, while you're still doing those same $100 a night gigs. It's a lovely thing that happens. And so one night I was in a hotel and flipping through the channels, and I saw one of those people, and that's where this lyric came out, and it's a song called "I'm in Minneapolis, You're in Hollywood." I'm in Minneapolis, you're in Hollywood, and I heard for you things were going pretty good. You're screening your calls, I'm freezing my balls off, 'cause I'm in Minneapolis and you're in Hollywood. I'm in Amarillo, Texas, you're in Tinseltown, and I just saw your face on TV while I was flipping around. You're having sex on the beach, I'm opening for Screech, because I'm in Amarillo, Texas, and you're in Hollywood. I'm in Opelousas, Louisiana, you're back in LA, and I heard you were making $3,000 a day. You're signing some girl's boob, I'm reaching for some lube, because I'm in Opelousas, Louisiana, and you're in Hollywood. Now, my favorite part of that lyric is a couple years ago I was here in Los Angeles and I did this song, and I got to that part and Drew Carey from The Price is Right was in the audience, and he was very friendly, and he came up to me after the show and he said, "Hey, I like that one song, except for that one line you say about $3,000. I heard you're making $3,000 a day. I think you should make that a higher number, right? Because that's $3,000. That's not like a lot of money, And I was like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really put it that way. But all right, that's a true story. A little name dropping there, but that's all right. Okay, I'm going to attempt a key change here. We'll see how it goes. I'm in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. You're in La La Land. And I just did a show and got heckled by the Ku Klux Klan or something like that. All right, I'm messing these lyrics up all over the place. Here we go. You're at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm next door to an Al-Qaeda cell. There's mud coming out of the water spout. Toilet paper just ran out, so excuse me if I sound just a little off kilter. I've been wiping my ass with a fucking coffee filter, because I'm in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, and you're in Hollywood. I'm in a bowling alley somewhere near Oskaloosa, Iowa. You're on the Walk of Fame, and the people here seem to think my songs are lame. I just did a show and they hated my guts. Some chick with a mullet just kicked me in the nuts. Same damn song for the 2000th time. You are the blossom and I am the vine. I'm gonna go to the hotel and drown my sorrow. Does anybody have a step stool and a rope I can borrow? Because I'm in wherever I said I was. You're in Hollywood. I'm at a bowling alley somewhere near Oskaloosa, Iowa. You're in Hollywood.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice work as usual, Henry.
Man,
Yeah.
Thank you.
that was very depressing.
Very
it
depressing,
is,
yeah,
it is.
because we're all living that life. Thank you.
I know, especially I feel bad after Patti was talking about these celebrations of life, or what
Yeah.
you call them,
Yeah.
because I wrote that lyric probably about the step stool and a rope. I think probably 24 years ago, and I thought it was the funniest thing I could think of, and now it's not so funny.
As
Very
who,
funny.
Who was it written about?
Who particularly? Oh, there's probably 3 or 4 people. Comics. I don't know if I should.
Well, if you're in Minneapolis, Louis, I mean,
Well, our old friend, he's a Chicago guy, Craig Robinson.
Sure.
There used to be a time when we would go out and pal around and go to the
Mark Roberts.
comedy
Speaking of
clubs.
Chicago guys, Mark Roberts.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Patty
then,
should be in
it
on this.
got to the point where every time Craig and I tried to go somewhere, he was just mobbed with people, and people would give me their phone and they'd say, "Hey, can you take a picture?" It's like, hey man, I'm not just the guy who takes pictures here.
I also park the cars.
There's tons of other ones too, but good on them. Craig is actually a very decent guy. Did you guys know him out there in Chicago?
Yes.
He
Yeah, he was
great.
great. A very nice guy. And by the way, did you mention Brad Henry's movies?
No,
Punching the Clown? Huh?
no,
I have,
I didn't
have
mention
one.
any credits whatsoever.
Well,
I
one of
never-
them you
Oh.
can see right there on YouTube. It's called Punching the Clown,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
that song's in it, and that was
Really good movie, you guys. Please check it out.
thanks, Maddie.
Absolutely.
You'll get there. 3,000 a day. I can feel it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean YouTube is where independent films go to lay themselves to rest, and
Yes.
every now and then
Has
I'll
to
get
be
it.
long after we're dead. Somebody will pick them up. It'll be great.
It's timeless.
My
for sure.
daughter will make
Yeah.
7 cents in 2093.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
I gotta check for 6 cents for the Nick Mom's Night Out I did on Nickelodeon. It's available on Amazon Prime, by the way, if anyone wants.
How
I
much?
read that-
What's that for real?
How much did you make playing Stanhope's wife?
Oh, I don't even know if I'm getting any checks for that at all.
I was
You know,
going to say,
I think it
wait,
was-
who are you asking? Because
Yeah.
I think I might have done that job.
Did you play Stan?
Patty,
I listened to
the making of a
Stanhope
new
and his
film, Patty, you could
not
be in
wife.
something called The Sixth Scent. This would be amazing.
Oh, so you were in that movie? I heard about that movie.
yeah,
That's
Road
what
Dog,
it
yes.
Road Dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got to see that. I never saw it. I didn't know you were in it. Oh, that's
Oh, it's
fantastic.
very brief. Very brief. But I think I announced my presence with authority.
Very
I'm
talented.
looking forward to it.
Along with the Chicago
Doug
Hope.
is a great actor.
Yeah, he was great. He was
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic in it.
Yeah, he sells himself short. He was in our second movie, Punching Henry, the sequel to Punching the Clown, because it wasn't really specific enough who we were talking about, so we made another one. Said, no, really, this is me that I was talking about. So, but yeah, Doug was in it, and boy, he's good. Yeah, he
Yeah.
really-
Very good.
We did the
Thank you,
Jimmy
Henry.
McCarthy show together. He didn't act at all. So
Oh,
okay.
nice.
That's
Thank you
tremendous,
guys
Henry.
very
Thank you
much, and I'm looking forward to just watching the rest of it.
Yeah,
here.
buddy,
All right.
we'll be sending you $3,000 anytime.
Yeah, we're gonna. Now I know what to say during the selling part.
Yeah.
Why is it I can never find? There she is. But remove.
I have
Remove.
Keith.
Oh, you already got Patty out. Okay,
And there's
great.
Keith.
There's Keith. Everybody, yay!
Yeah.
It's been a long wait. It's been a long wait. Thank you for staying.
It's okay. You know, I'm in the bathroom away from my cats, so that's why I'm in the bathroom. You know about the cats, Brad.
Oh yes, yes, I remember the cat.
You guys think I'm kidding?
No, we
No,
don't
we
think you're
don't.
kidding.
No.
We believe you.
Think you look good though. Steve, tell them what's going to happen.
Here's what's going to happen. Keith, I'm going to run an intro for you. It takes about 15 seconds, and then you are going to give us 10 minutes of awesome stand-up, and then we will tell you how great you are. Are you
Well,
ready?
maybe.
Well, it usually goes that way. We'll see if tonight's an exception. I feel good about it. Here we go.
You might.
Time for a big headliner. Got some funny jokes to say. Oh, do a 10-minute set headliner. Man, I'm so glad that it's Monday. Yeah.
Nelson from the John.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Before I get started here, I just wanted to say a lot of people ask what is worse than being at a funeral. I think Patty summed it up. You're at a funeral, and then somebody tells you a bad rape joke. It's like truly unbelievable. Anyway, sorry that happened to you, Patty. I'm having a great week because my uncle, who is 91, never been married, got married this weekend. And I think that's just really cool. And of course, it begged the question, why now? And my uncle said, you know, that death do you part thing seems manageable at this point. And anyway, he's very excited. And I said to him, well, what's the best part of getting married at 91? And he said, I don't have to meet her parents. And he was so excited to get married. He did everything, all the planning, and he got hair plugs for his head because he wanted to look good for his wedding. I don't know if you know what hair plugs are. This is where they take hair from other parts of your body, put it on top of your head. So for my uncle, that turned out to be his left nostril and right ear lobe. The entree was pudding, and it was pretty exciting to see the caregiver carry the bride across the threshold. That isn't something you usually see at a wedding. Flower girl was 62, dried flowers, obviously. And the bride, here's what's crazy. He kind of rocked the cradle because he's 91, she's 70. And they had a little fight a couple days before the wedding because she wanted kids and he didn't. But they finally decided just to adopt, which I thought was the right thing. The wedding was scheduled for 12:30. By the time she got up the aisle, it was actually dark. And here's the craziest thing about this story. So my uncle, who is 91, he gets married. My uncle-in-law, who is 90, his wife's 88, she wants a divorce, which is crazy. And I said, well, what happened? And he said, well, she says she wants to see what else is out there. And I said, well, maybe she got the 70-year itch. And he said, well, I thought it was shingles or ringworm. And I said, you're going to have to pay alimony. And he said, rightfully so. He said, not for long. And I thought that was nice. I'm married. I'm on my second marriage. I did the practice marriage. Anybody done the practice marriage? You guys know what the practice marriage is, where you meet you marry the hottie and you think that's going to be great. She turns out to be Satan, I'm not saying she's a bad person. She's the only woman I've ever seen featured on When Animals Attack. My new wife's great. She's Filipina. We've been married. It'll be 18 years in August. The marriage is going great. I'm anticipating if the next 18 years goes this well, I'm bringing her over. My wife used to be in politics in the Philippines, so she's very smart. She was the youngest vice governor in the history of the country, youngest councilwoman, head writer in the Senate for 7 years. And she lasted for 15 years in the Philippines, which has, by the way, the highest assassination rate of politicians. So she's a woman that lasted in politics. Now she's a nurse in this country. She has syringes in the house. So I really don't question her or ask much. Obviously, she's really smart, so the arguments are over quickly. I don't know what wrong left turns she made in life, but now she's with me. But the arguments are about 2 minutes, and then I go in another room and whimper. But the other day, I don't know if you've ever had a long argument with a woman. Please don't. If you're laughing at it, it's not the punchline yet. It confuses everybody else. Please. But the other day, I had an argument with her. 35 minutes. That's a long argument with a woman. And it would have been over in the usual 2 minutes. I would have been in the other room. You know what happened? Her friend was there. You ever have that happen? Egging her on. Every time the argument would dissipate, her friend would say something, jam up the argument, jack it back up. And I admitted I lost my temper. I said, Alexa, shut the fuck up. And then Alexa said, this is Siri. Alexa left 20 minutes ago. So that was kind of interesting. And here's another thing. You can see it. I'm getting older. My wife's always telling me, but I'm in good shape for my age. I do kung fu, I do weight training, I run. And my wife's always saying, you got to face it that you're getting older, which is really annoying. And again, I'm not bragging here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just giving information here. But I get girls in their 20s and 30s on Facebook, Instagram, hitting up on me. And unlike my wife, who ignores me a lot, asking questions, interested, asking questions. What's your mom's maiden name? What was your pet's first name? What street did you grow up on? So I got that going for me. I have daughters. I got a daughter that's 16. She thinks she should be dating now. This is a good idea, right? Leaving a teenage boy with a teenage girl. It's like leaving a pit bull with a mailman that's been dipped in gravy train. My other daughter just graduated from Berkeley in philosophy. So people always say, well, what does she do for a living? I go, nothing. She graduated in philosophy. She's woke, but she's not awake till 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It's another millennial living in the basement, waiting for us to pass away. That's what millennials do. Do you notice that? People always make fun of millennials living in the basement, but if you think about it, it's really genius. They're just sitting down there going, they got to go sometime, and then I can move up to the penthouse. So now you know about my wife and my daughter. My dad, who's 97, he lives with us, which I don't mind. My dad's a very nice guy, very affable. I'll give you an example. I get these people that call the scam likelies and these telemarketers, very annoying. My dad, very affable guy. I'll hand him the phone. He'll talk to him all day. They have actually now put him on a do not call list, which is he lives with us about half the time. Then the other half of the time he lives in his house. He's got one of these reverse mortgages. I don't know if you know what this is. This is where the banks pay seniors to stay in their house, waiting for them to pass away so they can snatch the house back from them. My dad's 97. The scientists are maids, doctors are maids. I can't believe he's lived that long. I think it's the reverse mortgage that's keeping my dad alive. Every day he gets up, he makes himself a cup of coffee. 9:01, he calls the banks. They answer the phone. He goes, "Hey, fuckers, still here." Click. His other favorite thing to do, then he watches TV all day. He sits in the lazy boy, has his cup of coffee, and he watches TV. And here's the crazy thing. He never makes it through an episode. He turns it on, TV Land. It's all the old shows, right? He turns it on. It's Gunsmoke. 10 minutes in, he's asleep. He wakes up 3 hours later. It's Perry Mason. He doesn't even know it's a different show. The show ends. He looked at me and he goes, "Man, I didn't see that coming."
That's true.
His new favorite show is Yellowstone. The other day, thinks he's watching Yellowstone. Bonanza. Hoss Cartwright was on screen. Hoss Cartwright was on screen. My dad looks at me and goes, "Man, that Cosner's really let himself go."
Yeah.
He falls asleep for an hour. He wakes up. It's Dances with Wolves. He looks at me and says, "Man, he changed sides." This is what I'm living with every day. He's getting a little forgetful because he's 97. But what I did is I made him a doctor's appointment for 2 weeks from Monday. And if 2 weeks from Monday he remembers the appointment, then I won't take him. And of course, I say doctor, he's got a very high copay, so we take him to the vet. He's got a very long face, so we tell him he's a greyhound. So that's kind of my dad. My sister, this is interesting. My sister, kind of a little bit not there, kind of crazy, but somehow through some miracle of God or Jesus being in a good mood or slow day in the Middle East, she scores a doctor for a boyfriend, an optometrist. Been going together 2 years. She dumps him the other day. And I'm like, "You had a doctor. Why would you dump him?" And she says, "Just tired of his escapades in the bedroom, always changing positions and then going better or worse. One or two."
Come on.
So that's my sister. My brother, like my uncle, confirmed bachelor in his 50s, still in his 50s, never been married, thinks he's a player. He's one of these guys, thinks he's a player. But he's fun even when he fails. I'm at a gig a couple months ago, finished the gig, sit at the bar, having a little beer. My brother's sitting next to me. 3 girls in their 20s come in. They drink at the round table, drinking their little fruity drinks, talking shit about, man, whatever you do, right? And my brother goes, "Watch this." And he walks over to the best looking one. He goes, "Do you want to dance?" You know how women can be sometimes real snooty. She goes, "No." And my brother goes, "Why are you being so picky?" I wasn't. Black guy sitting next to me pulls out a piece of paper, says, "I'm writing that shit down, man. That's gold." I'm an idiot. I always say the wrong thing with my wife. A couple months ago, watching the Lakers, I live in LA, love the Lakers. They win the game. Wife comes in, makes love to me, leaves the room, comes in, brings me a beer. Now, I don't know how many people listen to this are married, but if you get a beer, get laid, and get sports on the same day, you should just kill yourself right after that because you hit the mother. So I'm in a good mood. I'm laying there now in my boxers, sipping a beer. I got my little Filipino face right here looking at me. And, when you finish making love to a woman, by all means, tell her you love her, spoon with her. But much like a guy that's been arrested and read his Miranda rights, shut the hell up. Don't say anything else. You know why? Because all the blood that was here went down here and has now left the building. You're basically a 13-year-old on a short bus. No, I'm laying there. My wife says to me, and again, I'm oblivious, right? My wife says to me, "Do you ever think of other women when you're with me?" I blurt out, "No, but when I'm with other women, I always think of you." Not good. Not good. So anyway, so my brother anyway, never been married, smoker, all his life, which is crazy because smoking, very tough habit to break, by the way. They say for every cigarette you smoke, you lose 7 seconds of your life, which is really sad because like one of my brother's best friends recently hit by a bus, only smoked 1 cigarette his whole life. And I know, just think if he hadn't smoked that cigarette, he would have had time to scream.
Oh,
No.
Here's something interesting. This is, of course, only indicative of LA. I live out in LA, and in 2023, they've had jaywalking out here forever, by the way. In 2023, they got rid of jaywalking. It's no longer against the law in California. But like a month before they got rid of it, I get a jaywalking ticket, right? So I'm pissed off because I got this ticket. And you know, when you get a jaywalking ticket, you look like a criminal because you're not standing with your car. You look like you really did something wrong. So I'm upset. Cops writing the ticket. I said, you know, is there anything I can do to get this off my record? I don't want to pull up 8 or 9 of these and lose my shoes, you know? Cop gives me a dirty look, continues writing the ticket, right? So he's writing the ticket. I start jogging around him now. So now he's really pissed off. He says, what the hell do you think you're doing? I said, hey, you don't want to get a ticket for loitering.
Oh.
So now I'm in jail, you know, and I feel bad, but I got to fight the ticket, right? So I show up in court in a wheelchair. Judge is upset. Mr. Nelson, what are you doing in the wheelchair? I said, I can't afford to walk. That's what I'm doing in the wheelchair. So the judge is pissed. He gives me anger management. So now I got to go to anger management, which really pisses me off. So I go the first week and I get to anger management and there's no parking places. So I'm pissed off. I go home. If I miss one more meeting, now I'm going to go to jail, right? So I said, what am I going to do? I said, you know what? I'll Uber to anger management the next week. So I call Uber. My dad picks me up. I didn't even know he's an Uber driver. He's 97 years old. He doesn't know he's an Uber driver. He thinks he's being carjacked twice a day. So anyway, I finally get to anger management, and it was anger management, but it was anger management for little people over 75. So I walk in, I'm 6'4", 200 pounds, and here's all these little people, and they're screaming at this other guy that was apparently almost a little person. He was 4'10" and a half. 4'10" is the cutoff for little people. I don't know if you know that. It's 4'10" and a half. And it's 4'10", and this guy was 4'10" and a half. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, little people get perks. You know, they get money from the government, SSI. They get the little handicap cards so they can park closer to places, you know, like Disneyland, even though, of course, they're too short to get on the ride. So they're yelling at this guy because he's 4'10" and a half. You don't belong in this meeting. You're not even old. You got a tooth in your mouth. They're running between my legs like a bunch of, you know, Victorian street urchins. So I say to the guy, this guy looks 75 or 80, you know, I said, hey, man, you're only half an inch from being a little person and you're old. And what do old people do? They shrink. You're going to shrink and then you'll qualify. You can say, screw these people. Don't worry about it. I thought that would make him happy, right? I'm trying to fit in. Pissed him off. He starts choking me. So now I'm being choked by this 75, 80-year-old almost little person. All the other little people are pulling on his legs, trying to get him off me. And that's how I met Danny DeVito at Anger Management. That's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Keith Nelson.
Let's hear it, everybody. Amazing. Although one thing, we forgot to tell you what the show was rated. We forgot to mention.
Oh, shoot.
We forgot to mention the PG-13 thing. But that's okay.
God.
Hey, it happens.
I'm so sorry.
No,
That's all right. We
I
blame
should've-
Brad. It's all right.
And it was, other than an F-bomb, it was a clean set. I'm
It
so
was.
sorry.
No, it was totally clean except for a couple Fs. But but
Oh,
it's fine.
man,
No,
I'm so
nobody will notice. Nobody will notice. You
Hey,
just remind
we've
me
come to
tell
expect
everybody
that.
else from now on.
When broadcasting from the bathroom, what else do we expect?
Yeah, you're in the
Oh.
bathroom. Starting from the toilet. It's fantastic. So,
Oh, hey, I forgot to tell you. You want to see this? You guys got to see this so you'll know.
I'm so glad that's what you're showing us.
Hold on. You guys are gonna, hold on.
okay.
Hold on.
Are you showing us what you left in there? Oh, just kidding.
No. Hold on.
I don't want to
Hey,
see.
guys.
Wait, he's got
Hold
a
on,
fan on
hold
the
on.
ceiling. That's
Oh,
crazy.
wow, we are moving through the house. Hello, Kitty.
Oh,
Oh my God! How many cats do you have?
Oh,
oh, he's got a lot of kitty cats. About
Uh-oh.
7 or 8.
Hold on.
5 or
What's the,
6.
here's the catio.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
oh,
That's so
nice.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Are you a rescue or something?
Amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's I do a joke. I forgot to do it, but because I did that thing. But basically, we've got 34 cats in the house and then 3 outside.
A lot of cats.
That's a lot of cats. Well, thank you,
Yeah,
Keith
it's a lot of
Nelson.
cats.
Yay!
Hey, thank you guys.
Yay.
Thank you. Fantastic. All right.
All right.
I'll get you, Steve, you put on the thing and I'll get rid of everybody.
Here comes this other thing that happens at this point. If I could make it
Yeah.
work, because things are.
Oh God. Can
Okay.
you?
I think I got it. I think I might be able to.
How about another dumb song from Steve for no reason?
Oh, it's an exciting show. Alert the affiliates. We're going over a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of you know, some of you might know that I released an album last year that looks a little like this, called The Adventures of Super Dork and Fangirl. Hey, look, guess who did the artwork there? That's right, our friend Chuck.
Yay.
Hey, Chuck.
Thank you very much, Chuck, for your contribution there. And I would like to do a little number from that because I don't know that I've sung this in a while. I think this is one of, if I'm not mistaken, one of Sulu's. Birds suddenly explode every time you reload magazine on your AR-15. They're blown into smithereens. You mostly shoot anything in the immediate vicinity. And the toilet seat wants to have a word with you also. Okay, that's enough.
Yay. Play the thing. Play the thing.
Yay.
Go right to the thing. I'll go right to the thing. If I can
Go right
possibly
to the
go right to the thing, I will go right to the thing as soon as I can because
It'll be a
I'm
fast thing.
going right to things quickly today. But here comes the thing.
Brad begs for money. Hey, we need your money. We don't charge a cover for a 2-drink minimum, so what did you expect?
Go to virtualcomedyshow.com and click the orange donate to the comedians button. And especially this week, because I think Patty's got to pay to go to more funerals. That's very sad that she's doing that. So go. That's it. Go to virtualcomedyshow.com, donate to the show, finish it up.
We would sure like it if you would do that. And here comes the
We'd
worst
like it.
joke of the week.
No one
Worst
knows.
joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Ooh, that was the worst joke ever.
There it is, the worst joke. Trump's policies, for the first time in 100 years, have downgraded the U.S. credit rating. Did you know that? Yes. First time in 100 years, the country will now have to pay higher interest rates to borrow money, and it will hurt J.D. Vance the most, who will now have to use his couch as collateral.
Oh.
That's all. Good night, everybody.
Hey, that was the virtual comedy show. We learned a lot of stuff we didn't need to know, like into the toilet America goes. That's what you get when you watch this show. It's gonna be a long 4 years. We have a lot of fun at the virtual comedy show. It's better than sitting home